Hi, T.O.T. Carlson here. Are you a fan of action figures and old vintage toys? If you followed my channel for any length of time, you could probably guess that I am. And that's why I was pretty excited to get my hands on this. This is Action Figure Adventure Season 2. This is the latest in a long series of movies and TV shows by Jay Bartlett and Rob McCallum, childhood friends who live up in Canada, that I first became aware of a few years ago when they made a movie called Nintendo Quest, where they went on a journey to collect all the games on the original Nintendo NES. Now they're going around Canada buying action figures and putting them in an auction to raise money for a Canadian charity that services terminally ill children. So, a lot of fun, but also for a great cause. I'm going to unbox this release, share my opinion, and let you know what I think. So, here's the cover. I love this stylized artwork. That just looks absolutely gorgeous. Here's the spine. Back cover's got a description of the show and all the people involved. As you can see, there were quite a few. There are 5 episodes per disc, 2 discs for a total of 10 episodes for the season. Again, this is Season 2. I actually have the Season 1 set. I don't believe I ever covered that on this channel, but pretty interesting stuff, and if you're a fan of old toys and action figures, it's certainly worth your time. I'll read the description from the back of the package here. Action Figure Adventure, Season 2. 10 glorious episodes of toy hunting heaven. Hit the road with super collector Jay Bartlett once again as he journeys to the edge of Canada and back in the biggest adventure yet. With a constant ticking clock, incredible action figures, and a dwindling budget, Jay will have to make every choice count. Obviously, I'm a fan of the work these guys have done in the past. They've done a lot of Kickstarter-backed documentaries, both films and TV series, and they're all over the place, but I mean that in a good way. Nintendo Quest was certainly one of my favorite movies of the last decade or so, seeing as how I'm a big video game fan, and seeing these guys dip their toes into other elements of pop culture, in this case, classic toys, is certainly a lot of fun. This time around, it's a much wider spectrum when it comes to the places that Jay and Rob traveled to raising money for the charity auction they're doing this time around. This time they get all the way over to the east coast of Canada, going in several more stores along the way, and of course making some great finds. One thing I do like is that they actually take some time to talk about each individual store they go to. You get to see like a CG diagram of the store, what they have, where in there they keep it. This actually gives you a pretty good idea of what you can expect if you ever walk into one of these stores, should you be living or vacationing in the era. There's also segments where people talk about their opinions of action figures, and there's a great cast of people that are interviewed, including other social media personalities, toy collectors, and so forth. If you are a fan of vintage toys and the like, I don't think you'll be bored. Probably my only minor complaint is the segments where people talk about toys, the history, their opinions. Those segments are great, but they can sometimes take away from the momentum of the main narrative. Personally, I probably would have taken all those segments out and just made them their own separate bonus episode. But that's a minor complaint. I think this is a very fun series. Sure, you'll see lots of things you recognize, like, He-Man, Transformers, Star Wars, but then you start seeing stuff like Captain Power and Sectars, so they really dig into the vault here, and that makes it even more fun. This, of course, is a very modern production shot on some of the best cameras. So all of the newly filmed footage here actually looks very good. Probably the only things that look a little weak are when they're showing vintage footage from old cartoons to showcase, what these figures are and where they came from. But despite being, an independently crowdfunded documentary TV series, it never looks cheap or feels rushed. One thing I love about Rob McCallum, whenever he makes a movie, he sets out to make it look good and be entertaining, and I'm happy to say Season 2 of Action Figure Adventure is no exception. There are no bonus features in the package, but again, you do get 10 episodes worth of material, and if you're anything like me, you'll shoot through these pretty quickly, and when it's all said and done, want to go back and watch them again to see all the stuff in those toy stores you might have missed when you were watching the first time around. I very highly recommend this to any fans of documentaries, toy collecting, pop culture, or anything in between. Have you seen the 2 seasons of Action Figure Adventure yet? What do you think? What would you like to see him go after in Season 3 if it happens? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.